All right, y'all. What's up? Sorry, I had to get my headsets. So we are in the building. Oop, we lost one viewer. They waited till I came on and then popped off. But no, we here. So I had to put my headsets on tonight because um, there's an effect, a echo, and I want to eliminate the echo because everything else is working is working good, I should say. But now I want to eliminate the echo. So it'd be perfect. So why be good when you can be perfect, right? So that's what we are aiming for, is to be perfect. So with that being, excuse me. So with that being said, we are going to jump right into it, y'all. My name is Johnny Johnny, and this is Johnny Johnny Live. Um, I'm not gonna play the intro right now because we're just gonna go and get into it. We got so much stuff going on. We got people uh, who are trying to get a hold of me, and life be lifing. So what more can I say? Life be lifing. I'm gonna find. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get the show started, and then I want y'all to tap in with your comments, your questions, your suggestions, and all that good stuff. And we're gonna get started. If you like what I'm doing, tell me about that too. I could definitely use the motivation. So with that being said, let's get started. Johnny Johnny Live. All right, y'all, we are back, and I got what I needed, so we can continue on with this podcast. So, how's everybody doing this evening? It is Monday. Excuse me once again for my throat. I don't know what it is. My allergies started to act up just this year, so they must be really bad because my allergies don't normally act up like that. But for whatever reason, they are. But shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody who tapping in and making this show what it is. Okay, here we go. 'Cause here's the thing. In order to have a successful, I'm gonna turn this off for a second. Turn it back on. In order to have a successful podcast, you gotta have lighting. Your lighting has got to be good, you know, because that's what people look for, is a good lighting. You have to make sure your lighting is good. So I'm letting my light charge here for a second, and then we're gonna be right where we need to be at. Okay, cool. So it's almost Halloween, y'all. Are y'all ready for that? And then it's like, here's the thing. Like once Halloween happens, then all the other holidays just keep rolling on and on and on. So once Halloween hits here, that's when you know it is truly holiday season. And they even got they even got like Halloween stuff out. I mean, Christmas stuff out now. They've been had Christmas stuff out, and when this Thanksgiving, after Thanksgiving is over, they'll probably have Easter stuff out. So the holidays just be rolling, time be flying by, and people make lots of money off holidays. So I'm hoping to make some. I made some decent money last year playing. There we go. I made some decent money last year playing Santa. So you know, you'll see how much better that is once that light hit that. See, Okay, so that's even better. So we are in the building tonight. Like I said, I want to thank everybody for tapping in. I really appreciate that. And y'all can leave y'all comments too. We could definitely see what you guys are saying. If you have any questions, anything like that, you can leave it. I'll see the comments. Sorry about my backdrop right now. We're getting the studio together, so um, we're just making sure we can do some podcasts. Because when you're podcasting, you have to do something daily. It would be good to do something daily, or do one and then break it up, or however you want to do it. But we ain't gonna get into all that. We're gonna do a podcasting class soon, so y'all can see how a podcast goes. But with that being all that good stuff that I just talked about, I'm trying to stop saying that phrase. With all that good stuff I just talked about, um, we might have a problem, y'all. We got 2 weeks to the election. Does everybody know who they voted for? Some people voted already, early voting. But do you know who you're voting for? Most people do. Let me make sure I got this down. Most people do. Let me make sure I got this down. Okay. But you gotta stop. You gotta stop every once in a while. Be like and do a sound check because people will let you do a whole show and won't say nothing about your volume, none of that. And I think that's like the cruelest thing ever. We're gonna get the light together. I'm gonna let it charge for a little bit. I think that's the cruelest thing ever. You let somebody do a whole show and you don't say nothing. Let alone a lot of people don't even send emojis anymore. You have to. I don't know. People act like emojis are like $1,000 every time they hit emoji. Emojis are free, y'all. Wait a minute. I could do something even better. Okay. So let me switch over to emojis are free. So you can send an emoji to anybody. It is not going to cost you an arm and a leg. It's not going to be expensive thing to send an emoji. It's just not. So send away with the emojis. I will be greatly appreciated. It's not even going to cost you anything to send an emoji. How about that? You send an emoji, and it's not going to cost you anything to help me get my podcast off the ground. How about that? Okay. Anyway, if my sound is a little off, let me know so I can fix it. But I think it sounds good. I have people who look like they're tapping it on, but they're not staying on. So you have to understand, y'all. Here's one thing y'all have to understand. It is extremely hard to be in front of the camera and talk because seconds seem like hours and hours seem like it just seems like it's a long drawn out thing is what I'm saying. Seconds seem like hours. So in order to have a good show, but also have something that's meaningful that someone could like watch and get something out of and learn. And I have a lot of people tell me, "Yeah, I watch your show," but in order to have something that's meaningful, then that's hard. That's not easy, and that's something that I feel like I'm pretty good at. I give myself a pat on the back for that. So anyway, I talking too much, but it's not easy doing a podcast. It's not easy talking because like some people do a podcast and they'll start off doing a podcast, and as time goes on, you'll see they're not doing their podcast anymore because they ran out of ideas, they ran out of stuff to say, and like I said, it's not easy, especially to do it for 30 minutes. I'm gonna keep mine short and simple and we're gonna keep it to the 30-minute mark. I don't care what's going on. When that 30-minute mark hit, I'm done. Because it's hard enough to get people to watch long. Like I have our podcast and I have some of them have like 1,000 views on it. But that's hard to get somebody to watch that whole podcast for an hour. So why even produce a show for an hour? But you can get clips out of it and things like that. So that's what makes it worth it sometime. But okay, boom, there we go. Now the lights work. I hope it stays on now. But yeah, see how it's different now. Um,
So that's a lot better. Whew. Okay. I think I did a lot of talking. I talk a lot, but that's okay because if you're gonna be on camera in front of a mic, you I would think you would want to be a talker. So I am definitely a talker. All right. So the subject today is y'all. It's some crazy shit going on. It's almost 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks to the election. I think about a good 2 weeks. And yeah, I don't know, man. It's like I think like with Trump, like the way he was when he first ran, a lot of people liked that. They liked the way that he was witty. He was a smart ass. He really like told people how he felt about certain things. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool because you need a strong person to be in the White House. I get that. Not a strong man, a strong person. When you think like a strong man, no, I'm not talking about like I'm not talking about somebody who's gonna be like a dictator type person, but you need somebody who's gonna be. But here's the thing, though. I seen a lot of presidents, and I know, like to me, a lot of presidents seem like they were strong. Like I don't know if I ever seen a president that was like he looked weak. Maybe like Bush a little bit, Bush 2.0 a little bit. He looked kind of weak a little bit sometimes, but you could tell he had strength in him. Also, you could tell he had compassion, and that's what all the presidents they had. What you would consider strong, a strong personality. We're gonna get this shit done. We ain't gonna let nobody run over America. Cool. But this new type of president in Trump is like, I don't see a whole lot of compassion. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not knocking him. But like, how often do you see him like laughing or smiling? I mean, I think that's just like human traits that you're supposed to do a lot in life, especially if you're in charge like a whole, if you're in charge of a whole bunch of people. Like you have to have some compassion. Damn, this is not right. I'm gonna fix it. Or you have to be able to apologize if when you're wrong. Because everybody, I'm not saying like, but you have to be able to apologize and say that you're wrong when you are wrong. And I really don't see that a whole lot in Trump. And I'm not knocking Trump. I want nobody, man, you knocking Trump. I'm saying what I see and what I want in a president. And now, if you want to leave a comment, you can leave a comment right here on this page. But that's what I see. But a president, I think, or someone who's running for president needs some type of compassion, a heart, human traits. You know, you have to be able to understand overtime. Overtime, people make a good living buying extra shit when they do overtime. So you have to be able to understand, like, what black people are under, or what they're saying and what they're going through. I mean, he's sitting there telling people like we run out of stores with uh air conditioners on our back, DVD players on our back and shit. who who doing that? Are we eating cats and dogs? Like black people, that's what fucks me up right here. We have always been known for the way that we cook, especially other types of foods from other countries, black countries and islands. Like you just took like a lot of that, like years and years of tradition of us trying to eat good and taking what the master gave us and made a good meal with it and then try to elevate our food. Like you took like years of that grandma and like you kind of you shitted on it. That's what fucks me up. Like, cause we know we ain't eating no cats and dogs. That's not even a black people's nature. Not a geese. Yeah, we might take the geese and flame that bitch up. But eating no cats and dogs, like you fucked me up. And it's like it's laughable, it's funny, but it's people who believe that shit. Oh, black people eating cats and dogs now. Like, what the fuck? I know, like, your neighbors, like your white neighbors, are looking at you like, damn, I hope they'll eat my cat and dog. That's what y'all understand. They looking at y'all right now. I ain't say all of them, but some neighbors are looking at y'all like, oh, this nigga finna eat my cat. He finna eat my dog. They believe that shit. I'm telling you, I sell what I sell, uh, internet. Everybody, like, Fox News is the main thing. The main channel they want is Fox News. Fox News. They don't want nothing else but Fox News. The majority of households. Like, that station is the most popular station ever. Real talk. But I want to show y'all a video as far as what's been going on. And I want y'all to tell me, is this normal? That's all of what you do. I don't want you coming at me like, oh, well, you did try to. I just want you to tell me, is this normal? That's it. Okay, let's check it out.
How we doing? It's 4 o'clock in New York. 15 days to go. It has never been clearer that only one of the major party presidential nominees is living here with us in reality. Over on Earth One, and it's Vice President Kamala Harris. She's making an all-hands-on-deck effort to reach a wide and diverse swath of voters, with Harris making a 3-stop tour of Midwestern swing states with former Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney at her side. And then we have to deal with it. What's happening over on Earth Two? There's a presidential nominee running a bizarre, haphazard, R-rated campaign these days. Vulgar comments, crude insults, staging stunts at McDonald's in a desperate attempt to get people to pay attention to his life.
Now, listen, this is the weird part about it too. Like, you've heard that Kamala worked at McDonald's. Did she work at McDonald's? I don't doubt she didn't work. She worked at McDonald's. So whatever. Yeah, I can see if she was talking about she was working at Goldman Sachs. She lied about that. We're talking about McDonald's. And I think she's telling the truth about it. But you saying that she worked at McDonald's, so y'all pissed off, and then Trump goes and works at McDonald's for a day just to try to. I don't get it. Like, what? Is that normal? That's the question. Is that normal? I'm gonna let y'all watch it while I look for me a charger. Is that normal? That's the question.
Why that Kamala Harris never worked there, and with each passing day, the big question in American politics is he okay? At a Saturday campaign rally in Pennsylvania, the self-described stable genius began his remarks with a long detour about golf legend Arnold Palmer, a whole 10 minutes.
Now, Republicans talk about they want a strong president, a manly president. They want why would you get on stage for 10 minutes and talk about Arnold Palmer penis? Like, that's insane. Like, this it's getting to be another level with Donald Trump. I don't get it. Like, why would you do that? Like, it's 2 weeks before the election. That's what you have to talk about. Y'all listen to this. Y'all tell me if this is normal. If this is this normal or not?
Into his rant, he said this.
I'm going to tell him the real story of Arnold. But Arnold Palmer was all man. And I say that in all due respect to women, and I love women. But this is a guy that was all man. His man was strong and tough. And I refuse to say it, but when he took showers with the other pros, they came out of there, they said, oh my God, that's unbelievable.
And you know what they say, guys who talk about it, I'll leave it at that. So here's the rest of the Trump campaign's closing message. Arnold Palmer's and this.
Yeah, this ain't normal.
So you have to tell Kamala Harris that you've had enough, that you just can't take it anymore. We can't stand you. You're a shit vice president.
Now, hold on now. Is that how we want our kids talking? Is that how when our kids talking? Y'all talk. We talking about morals and stuff. Is that how when our kids talk? I'm gonna let you listen to it again.
So here's the rest of the Trump campaign's closing message. Arnold Palmer's and this.
So you have to tell Kamala Harris that you've had enough, that you just can't take it anymore. We can't stand you. You're a shit vice president.
Wow.
The worst. You're the worst vice president. Kamala, you're fired. Get the hell out of here. You're fired. Get out of here.
That's a lot of anger up there.
So that's on the menu, if you want it. And we play it like that, unedited and unfiltered, because here we are in the ninth inning of the 2024 presidential campaign and possibly of our democracy. Near the end of Trump's third run for the White House, and it's worth remaining clear-eyed about exactly what the choice is. Trump is now publicly facing all of you, the voters of America, with his cranky, exhausted, vulgar self. Between the discussions of Arnold Palmer's penis size, the conversations about sharks, and Hannibal Lecter, who he started calling Dr. Hannibal Lecter, like he knows something we don't know about some secret PhD the character obtained. The bizarre moments of swaying to his favorite playlist for 30 minutes.
That was crazy right there.
Remains one consistent through line in Donald Trump's third run for the office, his deeply authoritarian inclinations and promises. And
Thank
it comes
you
out
for the
even
emoji.
in the friendly confines of his favorite
for the
television network, Fox News. In an interview on Sunday, Donald Trump is given a chance to take it all back, to walk back or tone down the comment.
The thing about it, and thank you, Freddie, for the like. I know he, and I like the way he engages, and that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to engage with this podcast. You might not agree with everything that I say, but engage and let me know how you feel about certain things. Maybe I don't know. You might teach me something. Maybe I don't know something. Maybe this is a weird behavior. So. Let me see here. He left a comment. Let me see here. He said, "That's okay." So we're gonna, like I said, he ain't always he engages, and so we're gonna put that up there so people could see. I don't know what's fake. No. This is video. I don't know what's fake. I'm trying to figure it out. But let's watch some more, okay? Because this is for real. We got to watch some more. Check it out.
That Democrats living in this country are, quote, the enemy within. And here's what happened.
What's up? Okay, what's up with that comment, the enemy within? Let me know what that was meant for, because that don't sound right. I don't like that. The enemy within, that don't sound right. So tell me what that's all about. Here go Donald Trump's reaction to it. The enemy within.
You talk about the enemy within. There's enemies, America's enemies outside. The enemy within is a pretty ominous phrase if you're talking about other Americans.
I think it's accurate. I think it's accurate.
Who are you talking about?
And,
the enemy?
I heard that.
He's losing it a little bit. Listen to him.
On the outside, you have Russia, you have China, you have a lot of different groups. These are bad people. We have a lot of bad people. But when you look at Shifty Schiff and some of the others, they are, to me, the enemy from within. I think Nancy Pelosi is an enemy from within.
The girl, the lady almost got killed. Her husband almost got killed. Like, why do we keep taking shots at her? Like, that's what I understand. Like, he really turning the heat up. At least, if nothing else, recognize that Donald Trump is really turning the heat up in this election. Like, something gonna happen. That's all I can say. Something gonna happen. I don't know if it's gonna be a January 6th all over again, but something gonna happen because this is too hot. Like, we watching the news and it sounds like we watching a movie. Listen.
That's where we are. And then in an interview here on MSNBC, Vice President Kamala Harris had a simple message in response to Donald Trump's crude smears about her and this unhinged behavior we all see.
So the American people deserve so much better. That's how I come at it. And to your point, the President of the United States must set a standard, not only for our nation, but understanding the standard that we as a nation must set for the world. You know, we as representing the United States of America walk into rooms around the world with the earned and self-appointed authority to talk about the importance of democracy, rule of law, and have been thought of as a role model, imperfect though we may be, but a role model of what it means to be committed to certain standards, including international rules and norms, but also standards of decorum.
Now, we're gonna watch a little bit more of it because I just want y'all to get a whole of the context of what she's talking about. But it sounds normal, like it sounds like, okay, this is how we're supposed to act. This is how, like, I would want my kids if they turned on the TV, and this is how I would want them to act. You know what I'm saying? One thing we're gonna do is we're gonna play a little bit of. If somebody else leave a comment, I would definitely appreciate it. That way we could show something else. Leave your comment, y'all. Somebody else leave a comment so I can post it up there. But what I'm going to do is I am going to play a little bit. I'm going to play a little bit more of this, but I'm going to play a clips of a story that I'm working on. I might do it tonight, but after I play a little bit more of this, and it talks about Project 2025, and some guys have been interviewed about Project 2025, and they leave their comments and what they think about it. So we're going to take a look at Project 2025 a little bit here in just a second. But let's listen a little bit more of what her interview with Al Sharpton. I mean, is that Al Sharpton? Yeah, Al Sharpton. Let's listen.
And what you see in my opponent, a former president of the United States, really is, it demeans the office.
That's what I was just saying.
Said, and I'm very clear about this, Donald Trump should never again stand behind the seal of the President of the United States. He has not earned the right. He's not right. And that's why he's going to lose.
In a few minutes, Vice President Kamala Harris will be joined at a campaign event in Michigan alongside Liz Cheney. It's the second stop in that swing
a lot of people
tour that we
ain't gonna like that.
We'll bring it to you live when it gets underway, but we start.
A lot of people ain't gonna like that, but she snapped and she really gets her point across. I give it to her. Kamala Harris gets her point across, and she says what's in her mind, and a lot of it makes sense. I struggle to really understand what Trump be saying sometimes. But let's take a look at this right here. This is Project 2025. Y'all, I don't know, you listen. I know y'all got shit to do, but take some time, 20 minutes with me, and share this to other people, because we got to get the word out there. What's in store for this Project 2025. We got to let people know. So I'm going to play a little bit of this. We're going to do another podcast that's going to talk solely about this, but check this out.
I've heard of Project 2025, and I've read inserts of Project 2025.
No, I haven't. Actually, I haven't heard about it at all.
No, I haven't heard about it.
I just heard Project 2025 was something that wasn't for us, or something to try to eliminate us slowly but surely. I could be wrong, but I know it ain't nothing good for us.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Y'all getting this exclusive.
Hello, my name is Tyrone Howard, professor of education at UCLA. And what I'd like to bring to your attention are some of the concerning and disturbing aspects of Project 2025 that we in the Black community should be concerned about.
Federal education policy should be limited, and ultimately, the Federal Department of Education should be eliminated.
Outrageous. That's just complete nonsense.
There's no clarity here as to what this really means. Are we eliminating resources? Are we eliminating things? And who is this being eliminated for? There's already a shortage of resources that young Black kids get. What are we going to do if we don't provide the same education resources for everyone?
I think Project 2025 is something that's going to set us back about 20 years.
Wow. I don't think enough people are educated on just how bad this 2025 thing is.
That's crazy.
Any discussions around race and racism are now being eliminated, which to me is
Done
erasing a
with.
core part of our history.
Black history is just not black history. It's actual the history. It's the history. It's not just black history, you know, because you can't,
Listen,
you can't
y'all.
go back in history and not find black people.
You're trying to erase the history, but you're not willing to necessarily erase the legislation that holds us down on a day-to-day basis. Got it. Insane. Okay. Cool. That's a wicked game that they're playing.
I feel like they're trying to just disintegrate everything, and I don't appreciate that at all.
No, this is crazy. This is actually crazy. This is worse than the other one.
It's overwhelming. I can't believe someone actually took the time to put together this document that is, it's absurd. It's absurd.
The death penalty has always been highly problematic because a disproportionate number of people who are on death row are black men. This would ensure their instant death.
No, I don't vote for genocide. I don't vote for genocide. I don't vote for black men being executed inappropriately and untimely. I don't vote for any of that, never have.
I don't believe in the death penalty personally. You know, I feel what he say, no, vengeance is not ours, it's his.
This is the same group that believes that the lives of, you know, would-be children are considered. And then to become like judicial hitmen, right? It's like, it's crazy because you can't use the same God for both of them.
We have a lot of individuals who are obviously doing, time in prison and our jail systems without having gone through the proper channels of being allowed a, proper due process.
What it does really is just let black men know that we're not really, we're not respected. We're still not looked at as human. This is still like an extermination.
I think the only thing that really scares me about this is the conservative administration should do everything possible to obtain the finality for the 44 prisoners currently on death row. That seems to say even if they're innocent,
That's crazy.
kill them. That's scary.
Liberal states have now become sanctuaries for abortion tourism. Health and Human Services should use every available tool, including the cutting of funds, to ensure that every state reports exactly how many abortions take place.
It seems like they're trying to cover every door to make sure a woman doesn't have the right to choose what happens with her body. And I think it's just crazy.
I feel like they should have their choice of how they want to treat their bodies or do what they want with their bodies, so it shouldn't be up to no government to do that.
This is an important issue that we should all be concerned about because women's rights are being taken away. This takes us to illegal and backroom abortions where women put their lives at risk in ways that we haven't seen for centuries in this country.
They've been through a great deal of suffrage, so this is just another thing to add on to more of that suffrage. And I feel like they should have their choice of how they want to treat their bodies or do what they want with their bodies, so it shouldn't be up to no government to do that. No, I'm not, this is not something I want to vote for at all.
Tell me what y'all think about that. That's kind of deep. We're going to look at it a little bit more, but we're going to do a whole show about this. But tell me what y'all think about what they're saying.
I wouldn't vote for it.
I want my daughters to be able to grow up. They're 6 to 12. I want them to be able to grow up and have freedom, rights.
He's already said he wants to do a national abortion ban, so this is just proof positive.
The Secretary should phase out all existing income-driven repayment plans by making new loans, including consolidation loans, ineligible. There should be no loan forgiveness.
This means that your loans will be due soon, and many of them with interest and penalty and fees, so more money out of your pocket. Why is that important? Because black people are twice as likely to have larger student loan debts than people from other races, which means that it only delays the ability to purchase homes and other wealth-building strategies.
No loan forgiveness is pretty scary. If there's no forgiveness and if all the borrowers should have to repay their loans, some people are not in a position to do that. And I don't think a lot of people can recover from the debt that college is putting on people. So, you be putting kids in a position where it's almost impossible for them to win.
The next administration should work with Congress to amend Title VII to prohibit Equal Employment Opportunity Commission from collecting EEO-1 data and any other
social classifications and employment for both private and public workplaces.
What this means is that we will no longer have protections in the workplace that prevent discrimination, racism, or unfair treatment of people of color.
Wow. Oh yeah, we can't have that. We can't have that at all.
Egregious, overwhelming, outrageous, unfair. That's how I describe it.
May I speak candidly? It's basically a handbook for slavery.
I think that we need to vote, get out and spread the word to make sure that this doesn't happen.
I used to think that black men could never be presidents of companies like Xerox and Microsoft, but a black man became the president. This is rolling back all these things that were already established. We should find more ways to be more inclusive, men of color, women of color. I can't imagine an administration that would take us back. I could never support it.
Repeal harmful health policy, and that's under the Obama and Biden administration, such as Medicare Shared Saving Program.
That's crazy,
and
man.
the Inflation Reduction Act.
Y'all hear this shit?
That we would come to a time like this in America. You know, just sad.
The Inflation Reduction Act basically is a provision that will have an impact on Medicare, which would mean higher prescription costs for seniors and more money for Big Pharma, plain and simple.
I'm in a wheelchair, and I do got Medicare. So they're trying to take Medicare for us? I would be asked out because I don't have no care for my wheelchair.
Honestly, based on this, like honestly, thinking about, again, not even thinking necessarily about myself, but you know, my grandmother, my grandfather specifically, this would directly affect.
That's crazy. Wow.
So
I'm
what it means to
speechless.
me is poor people that have pre-existing conditions are in a world of trouble if Trump gets in office. I mean, for him to say he want to get rid of Obamacare, and when they asked him the question, what's your plan? He said he has a concept. That's the scariest thing ever.
And I'm an asthmatic, you know? Like, I know what it's like to be suffering at night because, you know, you're wheezing and you don't have your inhaler. And I mean, come on now, like, it's hard to, I guess, express like almost like the anger. I'm a little shaking a little bit, you know?
Reading this is definitely the most important election ever.
Wow. I'm shaking listening to it.
The corporate income tax rate should be reduced to 18%.
So that means the people that make less money gonna pay higher taxes? No, it don't make me want to vote for Trump.
What this means is less taxes and greater profit for large corporations and fewer wages and less income for everyday workers. We already see a massive gap between what workers take home and what large corporations take home. This will only widen that gap.
So the hard-working people get less, and the people that don't work as much get everything.
If you're middle class or lower, you barely making ends meet, for real. The people with the most money should pay the most money. I mean, that's like common sense, right?
It sounds like they're stopping, or really they're adding more money to their pockets by stopping us from being able to save money.
This is wrong. This is just wrong.
Damn.
Shouldn't be this way.
They don't care about the little people. They just care about just making more money, whatever that looks like.
I would say take your time to read what they're pushing.
Okay, so we're gonna end it with that, and y'all just take your time, like he said, or I was about to say, take your time when y'all decide who to vote for. I'm not here to tell y'all who to vote for. I'm not trying to down somebody, but I mean, if it's in writing, if we see video, how can it be fake? Like, it's right there in our face. And that's how I think they get away with a lot of stuff. Like, they could be like, we finna kill on day one, we killing 20 niggas. And black people be like, well, you see it, but you don't really see it. You didn't really hear that. You didn't hear that, but you heard them say it. I'm gonna be a dictator on day one. I ain't never finna be, we as black people ain't never been A dictator had never been good to us, ever. Never, ever, ever has a dictator been good to us. Especially the dictator type shit he talking about has to do more with Nazism. Not no Gandhi dictatorship. That's going to be inclusive of everybody. He talking about some Nazi dictatorship. So back to my point, he could say, that's why I said he can go and shoot somebody. And wouldn't nobody say shit. He got us like that too. Like black people, y'all got to snap out of it. He's telling y'all, like, this is what I'm going to do. But then, I don't know nothing about Project 25. All his people are the ones who wrote Project 25. That's his people who shaped the last administration, this last administration, this last presidency. They helped write it and what it was going to be about. They did that. They did it again. They got it on paper. It's in writing. People, they reading it out to you. You see video, and then you say, well, nah, that ain't really the way it's supposed to be. How? How is it not? You gotta have a president that respects us as a people and the stuff that we've been through. Because in a few moments, a few things he could say could knock a bunch of that shit back and disrespect the whole game. Shit we fought for, shit we believe in, shit we was proud of. Somebody can get on stage and have that many people and roll all that shit back and just disrespect us. We gotta have a president who knows that, who cherishes that, and who wants to do well by that. Otherwise, we fucked. Because if he go out there and say that we all eat cats and dogs, guess what? The whole world will think we black people over here eating cats and dogs. Y'all, man, make sense of it. All right, y'all, I'm out. I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Make sure y'all leave y'all comments, and we're gonna get back to y'all.